But what do you think would happen? Let's just play devil's advocate for a moment, okay? What do you think would happen if you got that position in your learning, that plateau of now you're bored. You know what it's going to do. You know how it's going to deliver. You just got to wait around for it to happen. And then when it presents itself, you push the button and it does what you thought it was going to do. And the results were expected and it was delivered as such. What do you think happens when you start applying gaming theory and money management to something like that? When you're no longer emotionally stimulated by the result, but you're now pushing the envelope with high precision, high strike rate, high accuracy, and now you have optimal F applied to your risk management. You start seeing extrapolated increases in your equity, and you still don't have the emotions. You don't have the fear. You don't have any of that stuff. And when you place that against something other than what's normal in this industry, it rips it to shreds. Nothing comes close to that. It's breakneck velocity in terms of the equity increases. And contests are not even a contest. It's a clinic. Here's what you'll never be like. Here's what you'll never be able to obtain doing the Mickey Mouse shit you use. But you can't jump into that. You can't just jump into that league. There's a lot of things you have to do to prepare yourself. You have to completely desensitize yourself to the ebb and flow of your equity going up and down in a trade. And I talked about that today when we were live streaming. The reason why I've talked to you in these live streams the way I do and in these Twitter spaces, because I want you to remember these discussions. Because when you're in a live trade, and some of you probably have never been in a really profitable winning live trade with real money. When it happens, and if you're not sitting with a trade that has a limit order where you know where it's going to go, you got in, you don't know what it's going to do, you're just giving it a chance to start moving around, and it explodes in your favor out of blind luck. And I say that facetiously, obviously, because if you're using what I'm teaching, it won't be blind luck. But it'll explode in your favor. And then you have this problem. It's running. Profits building constantly. And you're looking at it like a deer in headlights. You can't move. You're paralyzed, and you're watching the candle expand bigger and bigger and bigger, and the profits growing faster and faster and faster. And you don't want to touch the stop loss, but you don't want to close the trade, but you're thinking, I should close the trade because I'm making so much money. What happens if it reverses? And it still keeps climbing. It still keeps building up, and you're all hopped up. And it feels like panic. That's one of the hardest positions to be in as a trader that's new. Because everything you do is going to be wrong. If you get out right now and it rips even more, you're wrong. If you don't get out and it retraces or reverses, you're wrong. If you stay in that position with no limit target placed and you don't trail your stop loss to lock in something, you're wrong. And that's what's happening at 100 mile an hour in your mind. All these things are zooming through, and you can't focus on any one thing. All of a sudden you have attention deficit disorder. You didn't have it before, but you have it now, buddy. And it's a weird feeling when you encounter that. It's like, what the hell do I do? What do I do? And if your spouse is in the room, they start talking to you. Shut up! Don't talk to me right now. Look, don't you understand how hard this is? I told you, I gotta be focusing. Now, minutes ago, you're reading the fucking comic books, eating potato chips, clipping your fucking toenails. But now, because you're in this position where everything's flying at light speed, you're not losing money, you're making money. You have no idea what to do with it. And here's your spouse just saying hello to you, and you're tearing their fucking face off. Because that's one more thing that's competing for your attention, because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Have your model outlined. Where's your profit targets? Where's your partials? You have to be prepared for those types of things. And it's going to happen. You're going to just get in there one day and just see, this looks like it might move. Let me put it in here and not put your limit order in, not put a partial in. Let's just see what happens. And boom, NASA, rocket takes off. Boom, it's off to the races. And then when it happens, you don't know what you're not supposed to, you won't know what you're supposed to be doing because it'll be moving too fast. And I guarantee you, whatever you do that moment, you're going to regret it later on. I wish I would have got out sooner. I wish I would have held on to it longer. I wish I would have moved my stop loss up more. I wish I just would have just sat still. And you're going to be flipping through all those decisions so fast. So fast. And you're going to be panicked. And I'm holding these discussions with you because I want you to remember these things. When you're watching price, using the things I'm teaching, you're not going to be surprised. You're not going to have these, where'd that come from? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Let me go on Twitter, ask everybody else. Dude, what just happened? You don't ever hear me saying that. My students don't ever hear me saying that. In any of the mentoring I've ever done, over live streaming, when I was mentoring, behind the paywall, they never were like, whoa, nope. We were anticipating everything. That's a different mindset. That's the truth. When you're here with us, we're training you to be a soldier that's war hardened. We know what we're walking into. We know bodies are going to be stacking up, and we're doing the stacking. We know that someone's losing their ass, and it's on the other side of our trade. We know our setup is coming, what time of the day it's coming. We know how it's going to form. We're waiting to ambush it. We know how to stalk our prey. We are not ambushed. We are not taken by surprise. We're not caught in a snare. We know exactly where we're placing our next step. We know the terrain. We've been here before. It's well mapped out. That's confidence. And to someone that's new, that's never been around us before, it sounds like fucking arrogance. And guess what? If you want to call it arrogance, fine, I'll own that. It's just me being around the block enough times to know I know my way around. And my students do too. It doesn't make us pieces of shit. It doesn't make us bad people. It just means that we know our shit. We know what we're doing. And these funded accounts and these companies, they're finding out. They're finding out. We are built differently here. This is the Monster Lab. Okay? This is Monsters Incorporated. You come in here, you spend enough time, you're coming out a savage. Claws, fangs, everything. And you're going for your pound of flesh. And damn it, you're going home with that pound of flesh. When you have these opportunities to sit down and watch live price action with me, I want you to feel what it was like before you had these experiences where you were looking at the price action and just felt like, what am I supposed to do with all this? I'm tickled, honestly. When I read comments after the live stream, it's like, dude, what the hell? Like, it did everything you said it was going to do. Right. Now, I don't feel that way, but I'm amused when I see new students or people that's never spent time with us. Their reaction to that, I love that. I take the Twitters or tweets rather, and I show my sons, I say, look at this. This is someone now. Right now, I have my hooks in them. They're never, ever, ever going to forget this. In that moment, they're going to hold on to that. And they're going to want to do it themselves. They're going to do whatever it is. They learn how to do that themselves because they see it as a superpower. And it is. We're fucking mutants here, man. We're not like the average traders. We look at things with a precision perspective, discipline. We know what we're waiting for. We're not distracted. We're not taken by surprise. We're not looking at stupid shit that has nothing to do with what makes price go up and down. We're not worrying about fundamentals, because fundamentally, everything's in the technicals. Period. And then broke down, but has yet to take out sell side into a discount. Then it's probably going to go up into an inefficiency, a premium, and not run that high that's already ran the stops. That's how I trust it. They've already went into the liquidity. Now they're just taking it into a premium to rebalance an inefficiency and then send it to the sell side and then reverse the other way if you're bullish. It's going down for inefficiency or it's going down for sell side. It's going up for inefficiency or it's going up for buy side. If it ain't doing that, it's consolidation. Think about it, folks. You got three choices: up, down, or sideways. If it's sideways, well, the calendar is going to tell you when that's going to happen. When do we expect consolidations? I taught you that. So if it's not around those times, then we anticipate expansion. Which side of the market are we going to expand on? Which side is likely to be traded to because it's been taken into sell side or buy side? The market's going to move to the opposite range. Why? Because smart money's going to want to do offset distribution. If they're short because they've taken buy side, it's going to go down to a discount, to inefficiency or sell side. Reverse it. See, it sounds complicated because you haven't been spending enough time with us. That's all. You haven't been watching price action. You haven't been seeing me outline it real time, telling you what it's going to do, why it's going to do it, what it isn't going to do, when it's supposed to do it. When you spend time in that environment, live over real-time data with me, it's easily to convince you there. But you're still going to, at the end of the day, walk away from the live stream thinking, wow, that was amazing sorcery. That was a magic trick. He's doing something. Nobody can do this. And then you start thinking about how you can't do that yet. You're impressed. You don't know quite how I did it, but you go right back to thinking, let me turn it against myself. Can I do that right now? Which is unrealistic. But then you start feeling bad, like, then that's what you're going to get out of it. You're going to get what you put into this. You get to the point that you can do these things yourself. But all of the interviews I'm doing, and I have lots more of them. Got another one I'm recording tomorrow, but it probably won't be up until Monday. Why not? Why not, ICT? I want to space them out a little bit. It sounds like I'm filling my channel out with just that. I got to put some teaching videos in between them. But when you have this epiphany, this moment of clarity where you know what it is that I'm training you to observe, when you finally get to that point where it makes perfect sense and you know exactly what you're looking for in price action without me having to say so, I cannot find words to fully articulate the level of fucking power and confidence that it gives you. And I'm sorry, I know some of you like, oh, the language. Listen, man, ma'am. We're talking about life-changing shit here. You can play Sunday school once you learn how to do it. You want to carry yourself differently? Sometimes I can't carry myself 100% stable. I go off the rails, and I'm fighting very, very hard to stay on them right now. But when I feel what it felt like for me, and I know it's going to have the same impact on you, probably even worse. Not worse in a bad way, but more impactful. Because you didn't go through 6 years of it. Some of you are just coming here, and in a short span of time, you're already learning things that you were not aware that was even possible. I guarantee you, if I did a poll and you were being honest, not to try to fluff me out, because I don't want any of you doing that, but if I was to ask, how many of you are astonished to see that it is possible for someone to be able to call every minor fluctuation in the marketplace with that level of degree of precision. It was unfathomable in the beginning. Before you found me and anything like the things I'm teaching, you didn't think that was possible. I know I didn't. I just felt that there was people out there that would get more luckier than I was getting luckier.